Hi everyone, welcome back to Pharmacology classes by MSR. If you have not yet subscribed my channel, please do subscribe for the latest updates. Today we will discuss about detection and reporting of adverse drug reactions. So what is the definition of the adverse drug reaction? According to the World Health Organization, what the ADR is nothing but it is any response to a drug which is noxious and unintended but which occurs in the human when they are using for the prevention, diagnosis or treatment of the disease. So these ADRs may be mild or severe. Mild includes drowsiness, nausea, itching, etc., which may disappear after discontinuation of that particular drug, and the severe reactions may include the respiratory depression, neutropenia, hepatocellular injury or hemorrhage, anaphylaxis, etc. So, who can report the adverse drug reaction? Any healthcare profession, he may be a physician, family practitioner, a medical specialist, or a dentist, nurses and healthcare workers, pharmacists, patients and their relatives, and the marketing authorization holder who is being primarily responsible for the safety or of their products. All these people can report the adverse drug reaction. What should be reported? So, the ADRs which are developed by the prescribed drugs or the herbal drugs or the over the counter drugs, all those can be reported for ADR. Or if a new medicine is there, if we suspect any reaction, even if it is a minor reaction, it should be reported as ADR. Or if a well-known medicine is there but it is causing a serious adverse effect, unexpected adverse effect, it is also should be reported. Or the increased frequency of any reaction is suspected, then also it can be suspected as ADR. Or if a drug is developing food drug interactions or drug interactions, or if it is interacting with the food supplements, then also it is considered as ADR. If any drug is producing the effects after its use, end use or withdrawal effects, then also it is considered as ADR. Or if continuous use of a medicine, overdose of that particular medicine or medication error resulting in any event, that is considered as ADR. Or when a medicine is used in pregnancy or lactation, if it is developing any reaction like teratogenicity or etc., it is an ADR. And in children under the age of 18, any reaction is produced, it should be considered as ADR whether the drug is licensed or not for the use of the children. How to report? Where we can report? So how to report is the reporting can be made through the reporting forms. We have the adverse drug reaction forms. Those forms can be filled by the physicians or a common people depending upon the practice scenario in that particular country. Where to report? They can report for the local center, pharmacovigilance center, or the national pharmacovigilance center which is collaborating with the WHO. Detection of ADRs. So the ADRs can be detected by pre-marketing studies, post-marketing studies, under-reporting and communicating the ADRs. The first method to identify the ADRs or to detect the ADR is pre-marketing studies. So before the drug is marketed, we are going to do the studies on the animal models. So specific animal studies for carcinogenicity, teratogenicity, mutagenicity are available. We will do the specific test to identify that particular adverse effect. Then, once the animal studies are being successful, the clinical studies will be conducted in 3 different phases before submitting the marketing authorization application. Then the clinical trials, once conducted, it can have a capacity to identify the ADRs of frequency greater than 5 to 1.0%. The next study to identify the ADR is post-marketing surveillance. Once the drug is released into the market, if any ADRs, unexpected ADRs are identified, that can be identified by using the post-marketing surveillance. So the pharmacovigilance methods use this post-marketing surveillance to detect the risk and to collect the information regarding that particular risk. It is cost effective and it is used to identify the unknown drug related adverse effects, and the healthcare professional should see it as a part of their profession. Then only we can have the proper identification of the ADRs. It is concerned with identifying the product defects, intoxicant, drug abuse, and unexpected lack of therapeutic effect. Identifying the adverse drug reaction. So once the drug is released into the market, the post-marketing surveillance can be identified by various types of studies. The first one is anecdotal reporting. Nothing but the individual doctor reports if a patient develops any adverse drug reaction. Next comes the population statistics. Nothing but during birth, if any adverse effects or the birth defects are detected, or by using of a drug frequently if any adverse event is being noticed, like cancer is developed by using a particular drug, or anything, if it is by upon use of a drug continuously we are having the incidence of that particular adverse effect, that will be reported. That is population statistics. And the next one is intensive monitoring studies. In this, specially trained healthcare professionals will be there. They will devote their full time on this particular identifying the adverse effects. And the next one is meta-analysis. It is a quantitative analysis. In this, 2 or more independent studies will be done to identify the overall reason of that particular drug for developing the adverse effect. The other post-marketing surveillance studies include spontaneous reporting system. The clinician should report any reaction that is caused with a newly prescribed drug, or if any other serious ADR. That is spontaneous reporting system. Cohort studies is nothing but the patient who is taking that particular drug are identified and whether that patient is developing any ADR, that is been recorded. And the next one is case control studies. So here the drug taken one group, the people taken a drug one group, and the people who are not having the symptoms of that particular illness. These two groups are compared for their adverse effects. And the next one is case cohort studies. The patients who is having the symptoms or illness, whether they have taken that particular drug, those people are compared with the people who is having the symptoms or the illness and who are already taking that particular drug. These two people are being compared. And the last one is record linkage. This record linkage is nothing but it brings all the prescriptions or the patient records together to find whether there is any link between this use of the drug or the adverse effects. And the third one is underreporting. So this underreporting varies with various number of factors, which may be reporting the higher for the new drugs than for the old. Serious reactions are reported to a higher degree. Type B reactions are reported more commonly than their normal events in practice. And reporting is affected by the promotional claims of the sponsor. Nothing but the sponsor is influencing the reporting system. And the reporting is affected by the general publicity around the ADR reporting scheme. And the next method to detect the ADR is communicating ADRs. So the knowledge about the rational and safe use of a medicine need to be provided for the healthcare professionals. So during the basic training of healthcare professionals, this knowledge should be given with continuous education programs for the health professionals by specially designated drug information centers through the packaged inserts and patient counseling. By all this, the communication of ADRs can be done. Performance and effectiveness of pharmacovigilance program. So if any adverse reaction is been there, who can report, what they should report, and to whom they have to report. So any healthcare professional, he is maybe a clinician, dentist, pharmacist, nurse, or any other related to the medical field, can report the ADR, or the pharma company can also report the ADRs in the form of ICSR, individual case report forms, to the NCC, National Coordinating Center. So what they have to report? Whatever it may be, a small adverse effect or a big one, it may be serious or may not be serious. It may be a cause may be known or unknown. Whatever it may be, if they suspect that it is an adverse effect, they can report it to the centers, National Coordinating Centers. So whom to report and how to report? So they have the suspected ADR reporting form. So these forms are available in the official websites of IPC and CEDESCO. So they can fill this form and submit it to the National Coordinating Centers. So if a person who is not a healthcare professional, they can also submit this by filling this form to any of the AMCs, Adverse Drug Reaction Monitoring Centers. Monitoring of adverse drug reaction. So once we identify the particular adverse effect, we have to check whether the adverse effect is really developed with that particular drug. That is accessing causality. What is the relationship between the drug and the suspected reaction? Then we have to document that ADR, and then we have to report it to the pharmacovigilance centers or the regulating authorities. So in previous slides we have seen how to detect the ADR by pre-marketing, post-marketing, communicating and under-reporting. So once this detection of ADR is done, the second step is causality assessment. Nothing but what is the relationship between the drug and the suspected reaction. So this relation can be identified by two methods. One is clinical judgment. Nothing but an individual who is expert in that area would evaluate that particular case whether the suspected reaction is developed because of a drug or not. And the next method is algorithms. So there are many algorithms, but the commonly used is Naranjo algorithm. So here is Naranjo algorithm example. There are few questions which are listed out. So depending upon the yes or no, they will be giving that marking system. So if the total marking is greater than 8, the adverse drug reaction is definitely because of the use of that particular drug. If it is between 5 to 8, it may be probable condition. If it is 1 to 4, it is possible. And if it is less than 1, it is doubtful that the drug adverse effect is developed because of the use of this particular drug. And the list of questions were like previously any report has been developed because of the use of a drug, any adverse drug reaction is developed after suspecting of this particular drug, whether the patient has developed similar reactions for any other drug. Like this there are few questions, 10 questions I have listed out. So depending upon the total score, the condition can be identified as definite, probable, possible or doubtful condition. So the other algorithms are WHO probability assessment scale, Naranjo ADR probability scale which we have seen, European ABO system, Kramer's algorithm, Karch and Lazanga scale, Bayesian's probability approach, French imputation method, John scale, Spanish quantitative imputation scale. So all these assessments, they will take into account what is the relationship, temporal time relationship, what are the alternative causes that is possible to cause that particular ADR, what are the previous reports of that particular drug, whether anything is documented, what are the responses to the D-challenge and re-challenge, and what are the blood levels of that particular drug. Once the ADR is detected, then we will check the causality assessment. Then the third step is documentation of that particular ADR. So what documents we are going to collect and report is the source documents. What are the patient's medical records, which includes his x-rays, diagnostic reports, the adverse event form, serious adverse event forms, the case report of that particular patient, paper, it may be a paper report or the electronic case report will be collected and reported. For reporting a serious adverse drug reaction, the information to be captured is what are the patient demographic information, what are the presenting complaints, what is the past medication history of the patient, what is the drug therapy which includes over the counter, present medication, and the medication on admission. What are the lab data of that particular patient, hematological study, liver and renal functional test should be recorded. The suspected drug information with the drug which has developed that particular adverse effect. The suspected drug generic name should be reported. What are the indications to prescribe that particular drug? What is the dosage form and strength used? What is the daily dose and regimen that is being used? What is the route of administration that is prescribed? When did the patient start using that particular drug, at what date and what time? When they have stopped using that particular drug, date and time, to how long they have used, what is the duration of the treatment, and when any other treatment is given along with this particular drug. Details of the suspected ADR, adverse drug reaction. So full description about the reaction, which includes the body site, at what site the reaction is developed, what is the severity, what is the criteria for recording it as a report serious, and if possible we have to give the diagnosis to identify how we have diagnosed that particular reaction also should be given, and when the reaction is being started produced and when it is stopped. Onset of reaction and duration of reaction should be noticed. It should be noted and reported properly. What is the outcome? So the adverse event is fatal, it caused death, or what reaction it has produced. What is the possible relation to the suspected reaction? The post-mortem findings, any other information which is relevant to this particular case. It may be medical, it may be family history like drug or alcohol abuse, or anything related to that particular investigation should be recorded and it should be reported. What are the reporting responsibilities? The responsibilities of a sponsor includes the serious adverse event should be reported to the licensing authority within 14 calendar days of the awareness. They should submit the status report, periodic safety updates about that particular patient to the licensing authority periodically. Coming to the responsibilities of investigator, any adverse effect or serious adverse event should be reported to the sponsor and the licensing authority within 24 hours and to the respective ethics committee within 7 working days. The severity grading of reporting. According to the severity, they have given a grading system by NCI, National Cancer Institute, CTCAC, common terminology criteria for adverse effects. So the grading system is like grade 1 indicates mild asymptomatic, grade 2 indicates moderate and minimal, grade 3 severe but not immediate life threatening, grade 4 is life threatening, and grade 5 indicates the death related ADE. This is a format of suspected ADR reporting form. This is for the healthcare professionals. So they can fill this form and submit. So this is a form to report by the consumers. Medicine side effect reporting form. This is specially for the consumers.